The stock market is simple. Buy quality companies with a proven track record and hold on to them for a long time. That's it. I'm not talking about getting rich quick or day trading. No, I'm talking about long-term growth. But this is the hard part. How do you find those quality companies to invest in? Hey guys, it's Adrian here, the Canadian in a t-shirt. And this is how I research a stock before I buy. All my life, I've been using free tools like Yahoo Finance, and they're great. But now I have a one-stop shop. I can do all my research and buy the stock within the broker itself, and that's thanks to Moomoo. They're still new to Canada. I've been using Moomoo for about 18 months now, and not only have they saved me money, but I am very impressed with their research tools. I'll show you what I mean. But first, a huge thank you to Moomoo for sponsoring this video. They support my channel while allowing me to share my true thoughts, both the good and the bad. Let me tell you, in the finance world, that's pretty rare, and that's why I work with them. I've already gone in depth on their low fees, especially their super low conversion fees in past videos. If you invest in US stocks, Moomoo will save you a ton of money compared to other brokers. Check these out to see all the math. Today, I'm not talking fees. I'm talking features and research tools. Trust me, they're impressive. I break it down into 3 main chapters. First, how to find quality stocks. Second, how to parse through the stock news plus their new AI tool. And third, how to evaluate that stock before you buy. I promise, their AI is not just a buzzword. Moomoo is Canada's first AI broker, and even though I'm putting it in the news chapter, you can use this tool to help you at any stage of the process. I'll show you. Let's jump into the app and see these research tools. Feel free to follow along. If you're not on Moomoo, use my referral link below to lock in a juicy sign-up bonus worth hundreds of dollars. More on that later. You'll notice that I'm using the mobile app. Moomoo also has a desktop app with all the same functionality, but most of their users are on their phones, so that's what we'll do today. First step, screening. How do we find stocks that are worth buying? Moomoo has us covered with a ton of tools down here in the Markets tab. Right away, we get a snapshot of the major indices from around the world. Very helpful bird's eye view, but we can also narrow it down to the US market or the Canadian market by using these tabs. Let's look at US for now. This is a great place to find new stocks that might interest you. Here we have featured lists. You can sort all the hottest stocks based on the biggest gainers, the biggest losers, and the heat list. Now, I don't encourage buying stocks just because there's momentum, but it can present opportunities. And this initial screening is just the first step. We have to evaluate further before we decide to invest. We'll go through all the steps together. If you love dividends like I do, you'll love this, Dividend Rankings. Here you see all the highest dividend yields. Watch out, don't go blindly chasing high yields. A high dividend isn't enough. You want a sustainable dividend. That's the key. So click this button, Continuous Growth. Now you see the sustainable and growing dividends. These are the dividend kings, the companies that increase their dividend every single year for 50, 60, even 70 years in a row. That's what I want. And I love seeing all these metrics that I can sort. Their dividend growth rate, current dividend as a percentage and as a dollar amount, whether they pay quarterly or monthly, what industry they're in, and this is important, their dividend payout ratio. How much of their profits are going out as dividends. This tells you how sustainable their dividend is. The lower, the better. This table alone, all this crucial dividend information in one spot, other websites would charge you money for this. But Moomoo offers this for all their users for free. It's so convenient. I love it. Further down, we have investment themes. This is an interesting or trendy collection of themes. We have AI stocks, quantum computing. Just click on a theme and you'll see all the market-leading stocks related to that theme. There's even funny ones like Wall Street Bets. Good for a laugh, but I don't recommend buying. You can even see Nancy Pelosi's portfolio, the leader of Congress who famously outperforms the market. You know I'm kidding, but I have to say it. Never blindly copy anyone's portfolio. Not mine, not even Nancy's, but it can be a source of inspiration. Next we have the heat map, a great visual to track the daily changes of the market. Here's a list of rating changes when analysts upgrade or downgrade their assessment on a stock, if it's a buy or a sell. Again, don't just follow them, but there are potential opportunities. We also have institutional trackers to see what the big money is doing. Click on Berkshire Hathaway and we see all the stocks that Warren Buffett and his team are holding. Now this is a big one, earnings. We see a calendar of all the upcoming earnings releases. That's when a company reveals their financial position to the public. They do this every 3 months. It's very important. If it's good news, their stock will go up. Bad news, expect a drop. These earnings dates are important, and Moomoo makes it super easy to keep track of. You can add them to your calendar right here so you don't miss it, and search any stock to see their past earnings dates. You'll see analyst estimates of these upcoming earnings before they happen. It's just an estimate, but it can be useful to prepare. Now we have macroeconomic data, big picture stuff that affects the entire economy. Things like CPI, inflation numbers, consumer spending, unemployment. Very important. Seeing these visualizations helps me understand what's going on, and I love that Moomoo offers this for free. We covered the upcoming earnings, but we also have a list of recently released earnings. We can see which stocks beat expectations. These are just the favorite research tools that I use, but there's even more to see in the Markets tab. Right here, there's an entire section just for ETFs. Today, I'm focusing on stocks, but leave a comment below if you'd like to see a follow-up video on ETF research. All of these features help with the initial screening. There are thousands of stocks out there. We need to narrow it down to a few that fit our criteria. These are the tools that help us find what we're looking for. Once we have our short list, now we gotta dig deeper. Step number 2, stock news. Before we get to the AI functionality, let's look at the good old-fashioned way. Click on the news tab at the bottom and you'll see popular headlines across the entire industry. Just click on them to read the whole article for free. Filter for the top stories, latest news, articles on earnings, and even filter for stocks on your watch list, the ones you really care about. You can even search for a particular stock or industry. This news functionality is always ready, either in the news tab or if you're looking up a stock quote, like Nvidia. Just click news and see relevant articles. One thing you'll notice, you're seeing news articles from all the major publications. You can read from Wall Street Journal, Reuters, MarketWatch. It's all been compiled and curated in one spot. And the best part, it's free for all Moomoo users. That's right, most of these publications require a paid subscription. Wall Street Journal will cost you $200 a year to read their articles, but on Moomoo, you get to read them for free. No paywall, it's all right here and free on the app. This alone is incredible, but it gets even better once you throw in the AI tools. At the top of every page, you'll notice this AI button here with the robot bull. Click it to prompt Moomoo AI based on what you're looking at, or ask them your own custom questions. You can ask super specific questions like, what is the dividend payout ratio of Coca-Cola stock? And it will spit out the answer. But the real power is when you ask broader questions. For example, give me a comprehensive analysis of Coca-Cola. Give it a few seconds to compute, and then you'll get a summary of everything you need to know about the company, the stock, their key metrics, recent earnings, and what that means for you, the investor. Here's something I love. Normally, I don't rely on AI results because I don't know where the information is coming from. I can't trust the validity. The AI model could be pulling data from Reddit or Twitter, totally unverified. But with Moomoo, right underneath each data point, click these highlighted numbers and it gives you the sources. This information is verified from a trusted source, the Coca-Cola Investors Relations, or here the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, or Moomoo's proprietary market data. And if you click on each source, it will take you to the relevant section right on the stock quote. This verification and source tracing really won me over, and I hope more AI models do this in the future. For now, Moomoo is the first and only AI broker in Canada. There's a lot more to talk about. Comment below if you'd like to see a follow-up video on these AI features. Important to note, you won't get unlimited AI prompts. There are different membership tiers based on your assets and number of trades. At the lowest tier, just having a Moomoo account, you get access to 20 AI prompts. To reach level 2, you need to make 3 trades or have 20K worth of assets in the past 30 days. Level 2 will get you 20 AI prompts every month. Level 3 gets you 200 AI prompts per month. To reach this, you need to make 30 trades or have 200,000 worth of assets in the past 30 days. So we have our list of stocks and we've read the news. Now it's time for step 3, evaluating the stock. It's so important to understand their financial position before you buy a stock. If you blindly buy a stock, that's gambling. When you do your research and make an educated assessment, that's investing. Let's look at Coca-Cola, one of my favorite stocks. Here's the stock quote with all the standard metrics. Open price, close price, market cap, dividend yield, dividend amount, price to earnings ratio. Below we have the stock chart. We can see how the price has changed over time. Zoom in, zoom out, but the best part is the research tools. Click on company and you'll see everything you need to know. Starting with the profile, you get a summary of what the company does and their history. It's important to understand how the business makes money. Now let's focus on the numbers. Here in the financials section. At the top, we see their recent earnings. The revenue is red, meaning that they missed their expectations. In this case, they underperformed by 40 million or 0.32%. But good news, their earnings, their net income, actually beat expectations by 7%. That tells you that their expenses were lower than expected. So in the end, they had higher profits. Great news. Because of that, the analyst ratings right now are strong buy. That's an extra vote of confidence in my book. Click on Morningstar Research to see their assessment. Economic moat tells you how much of a competitive advantage Coca-Cola has over its competitors. And we all know Coke is king when it comes to beverages. Read the summaries on the bull case versus the bear case. Basically, pros and cons. Normally, Morningstar would charge you a monthly fee for this data, but once again, Moomoo users get this for free. Company valuation. This is the PE, price to earnings ratio, which tells us if a stock is overvalued or undervalued. The lower, the better. This number on its own isn't super useful. It's meant to compare against its competitors. We can see that Coke has a lower PE than the industry average. That's a good sign. Right now, it's below the historical average and the reasonable range, the shaded region on the graph. In fact, its historical percentile is only 5%. That means that right now, it has a lower PE than 95% of the time over the past 5 years. That tells me it's likely a good time to buy the stock. It's undervalued. I love this bit, revenue breakdown. You can see exactly how the company makes money. 40% of sales from North America, 25% from Europe and Middle East, and other revenue streams beyond sales. This is so helpful, especially for giant multinational corporations. Having a clear visual representation of how the business operates and getting this for free, I love it. Below we have the graphs and charts. We can track the company's revenue and earnings, net profits, over time. Revenue can go up and down, but as long as their net income shows overall growth, I'm happy. We also have charts for their balance sheet, their assets minus their liabilities. I used to rely on tables of numbers on Yahoo Finance. Now I get these visual illustrations all within the Moomoo app. It's a game changer for me. If you're unsure how to interpret these numbers, remember you can always hit the Moomoo AI button at the top of the screen to walk you through it. For a blue chip established stock like Coca-Cola, I really care about dividends. And thankfully, Moomoo has a whole section just for dividends. As I said before, I don't care about high dividends. I want sustainable and growing dividends. Coca-Cola is the perfect fit. Clicking here on dividends, you can see it currently pays out a 3% dividend yield. Not bad at all. Anything above 6% is usually a red flag for me, likely unsustainable. With Coca-Cola, I know this dividend is secure right away because Moomoo gives me the dividend payout ratio right next to it. With a ratio of 78%, that means that 78% of their profits go out as dividends, leaving them with 22% to reinvest and grow as a company. That's a good sign and leaves plenty of room for future dividend raises. Here on Moomoo, you can see the dividend growing every single year. That's this blue bar. Every year since 2015, the dividend is higher and higher. Not only has Coca-Cola never missed a dividend payment, but they have increased their dividends every single year for 62 years in a row. That makes them a dividend king, exactly what I want. Now that I've done my research, all within the Moomoo app, I'm confident and ready to buy this stock. If you're serious about investing and buying individual stocks, you gotta do the research. And for that alone, you should give Moomoo a shot. And make sure you use my referral link below. I was able to secure a fantastic bonus for you guys. Sign up and deposit $500 and you'll receive a $100 cash bonus. That's already a 20% return right there. Even better, deposit $5,000 and you'll receive a $300 bonus. That's free money, so take it and invest it. Plus, you get up to $2,000 in commission rebates for the first 60 days. You don't pay any commission fees for 2 months. Perfect chance to try it out. And if you're waiting on the fence, not sure what to buy, whatever cash you have sitting in Moomoo will earn you 6% in interest for 2 months. Basically, you get a 6% savings account. This is one of the best sign-up bonuses I've ever seen. Over $2,300 worth of value. Click my link below and you'll see my customized landing page with Canadian in a t-shirt. That's how you know it's working. This is important. Even if you're opening a TFSA or an RRSP, you should also open a cash account in order to receive this $300 bonus. With a TFSA or RRSP, the bonus won't get paid out since it takes away your contribution room. So make sure you open a cash account as well to collect that bonus money. Now, on top of this sign-up bonus, the $300 when you deposit $5K, you can also get a transfer bonus. This is separate, and you can collect an extra $300 if you transfer at least $10,000 in assets from your bank or your brokerage. So to get the maximum amount of free money, open an account and deposit $5K, and then transfer over $10K, and you'll receive a total of $600 in cash. Thanks again to Moomoo for sponsoring this video and for the great sign-up bonus for my viewers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of The Canadian in a T-Shirt. Bye, guys.